What's going on, guys? Today I'm bringing you a new Fantasy Draft Challenge video in NHL 23. This is actually a challenge I did 5 years ago back in NHL 18, the Alphabet Challenge. Basically, every player we draft has to have a name that starts with a different letter. When I did this 5 years ago, I think we used the last name, so this time around we'll do the first names. Quickly here, guys, we're going to spin this wheel and see which team we get here. And it's it was almost the Red Wings. It's actually the Blue Jackets. Okay, so obviously having a pretty bad year right now. They're last in the NHL. Maybe we can turn that around here via a fantasy draft. And real quick, guys, before I decide where we're going to draft, if you wouldn't mind, leave a thumbs up on this video. It really helps me out. So I just loaded in here, guys, the 11th pick. I'm going to close my eyes, randomize. Hopefully, honestly, get a top 5 pick. Just get like McDavid or whoever. And pick 29. Okay, this is going to definitely be a bit tougher. We'll start this draft here. Obviously, we're picking 20 players. There's 26 letters in the alphabet. I'm sure you guys know that from JKSK. So 6 letters we don't have to use. Eichel, Stammer just went. I should mention, too, it's actually my first fantasy draft with my completed custom roster. So I was kind of curious to see Tage Thompson in the first round. Hughes at number 19. Shesterkin there at 17. Kaprizov, Marner, Slavin above them, even though he's older. Interesting. Chuck, Robertson, Rantanen, Vasilevsky's at 10. You got Pasta, Kucherov, McAvoy, Fox, Draisaitl. Going to Edmonton, which is funny. McKinnon, Matthews, Makar, and McDavid. So right there's your top 10. Could take Sidney Crosby here. We would take out S, though, which is a very popular letter. Thing is, 93 overall. He's the highest rated player there by a couple overall. It's Sid the Kid. He just wants to Stanley Cup with us on the Edmonton Oilers franchise mode. I think it's meant to be. We're taking Crosby. And again, guys, for this one, I'm using the letter of their first name and not last. So Crosby, of course, like I said, is S. P for Bergeron, very good two-way player. Could add Panarin. Stone's also a good two-way player. Panarin only 30. Forsberg 28, 90. Ekblad could get a defenseman. Could get Malkin. I mean, Sid and Malkin together, that'd be kind of cool. Ovechkin? Ooh, I'm very tempted to have a Crosby-Ovi duo. I actually saw a graphic not too long ago, like Crosby handing the cup to Ovechkin. Maybe we could have that in this video. Yeah, I have to take Ovechkin. Like, there's no way I can pass on him. And our next pick here, guys, end of the 3rd round. Erik Karlsson just went, probably because he has that big contract, but very good offensive defenseman. He would have been a nice pick. Bergeron, speaking of offensive defenseman, Karlsson usually sims really well, puts up a lot of points. Could get him, feed Ovi the puck on that power play. Malkin's still there, too. Him, Crosby, Ovi on the first line would be absolutely nasty. Okay, so who are we going to go here? Patty Kane, $1 million on 1 year, because obviously retained salary there in the trade. I feel like that's got to make his value even higher. Bergeron is the highest rated. We want defense, so I'm probably going to go Karlsson here. I think that just makes the most sense. So far we used S, A, and J. Malkin is still there. I mean, I don't know if it's the smartest pick. Patty Kane's still there as well. Like I said, guys, I'm not sure it's the best pick, but I'm taking Geno Malkin here. First line, him, Crosby, Ovi. That's also power forward, playmaker, sniper, so it should be awesome chem. Let's see. So Patty Kane has been taken. Kopitar is still there, though. We actually can't take Kopitar, though, because already took Alex Ovechkin. I wouldn't mind other defensemen. If we take Letang, we literally have 3 Penguins and 3 Washington Capitals, which is pretty funny. Obviously, defenseman's championship, so you know what, guys? Let's do it. Letang here, just an all-Pittsburgh Washington team. Now, next pick here, Kopitar is still available. That sucks. I would definitely take him. Even Pavelski, he'd be great, but we cannot take him either. Pacioretty, Brent Burns, we can take. I mean, add to the defense, play some power play for us. After that, definitely we just need, like, stay-at-home guys. Honestly, though, his age 37. I feel like we can probably go down and get somebody a bit younger first before him. I'm thinking, like, a Brett Pesce, maybe. Solid defensively. Probably help round out that top 4. TJ Brody as well. Some really good defensive numbers. Pesce's younger, so probably go Pesce here. I feel like there's usually a lot better, you know, forwards left. And Joe Pavelski did just get taken. A really good pick there for St. Louis. 88 overall. Brent Burns still available. Oh, you know what I just noticed? By taking Brett Pesce, we cannot take Brent Burns, double B. Alright, so let's see. Zuccarello we could take. We have 3 defensemen. Goalie, I mean, we could take a goalie. Let's see. Fleury. We don't have an M yet. Do we get Fleury? Just reunite like the original Pittsburgh core. Kind of funny, honestly. You know what? What the heck? Let's just do it for fun. Marc-Andre Fleury. And our next pick here, guys, cannot take Zuccarello because we just took Fleury. We could take Teravainen. Cannot take Falk. Cam Fowler, Severson, Krug. Krug's also pretty offensive. Fowler, Severson, Krug. They all got the exact same D awareness. Really, none of them are that great. I feel like our offensive defensemen are pretty solid. Rather wait on more defensive guys. So maybe just start filling out the forward group. Who's going to sim well for us? Teravainen here does have tape to tape. Good hands. We're looking at the second line at this point. Foley there has a solid shot. Now, so does David Perron. We haven't taken a D yet. So let's try Teravainen and then maybe add Perron with our next pick if he's still available, which he is. Okay, so that's good. We got a sniper there. We got a playmaker. Just have to find a center to play between them. So next year, guys, like look at this already. Cannot take Burns. Cannot take Giordano or Ben or Wheeler. or Shattenkirk, or Klingberg. Are you kidding me? Taze, Rust, Kopp, Killorn. Wow, our first guy we could take is Nick Backstrom. I was just saying, I mean, is this going to be just a Pittsburgh-Washington, like, hybrid team? Really good playmaker. I mean, you could have him on the power play with Ovi, obviously. That's worked in the past. Let's do it. Nick Backstrom, our end's gone. And now next, you guys, before we start on the third forward line, I'm thinking I want to round out that top 4D. So Martinez, Petrie, Shattenkirk cannot take any of them. Manson. Wow. Ryan Suter we could take. Starts with an R. Decent defensive stats, not the best. Dylan Dumoulin, both pretty solid defensively. Of course, you know, both their names starts with B. So I think we just have to take Ryan Suter if we want like a decent top 4. Really no one else available. So after that, Jonathan Taze would be nice third line center, but we cannot use J. David Krejci cannot use. Adam Henry cannot use. Oh man, this is actually going to be pretty tough. I think honestly first name's harder than last name just because last name's a lot more, you know, variation. First names seems to be certain letters everyone loves. The B's, the T's, the M's, the N's. I'm not using like my name for instance. C, Cole. Do not see. Connor Brown's a C, but I am looking for a center. Christian Dvorak. Solid defensively, could play our PK. Or honestly, if we're going to go C, might as well go Cam Atkinson. Speedy winger there. Then we can find some other, you know, two-way players to play on the PK. All right, guys, so next year, just trying to finish out that third line of forwards. We need 2 more guys. Literally none of these guys. Ian Cole we could take. Bottom D pair. I's a tough letter. Defensive defenseman. Kind of what I'm looking for, honestly, on the bottom D pair. Oliver Ekman-Larsson would be solid as well. O is not like a super popular first name, I don't think. This might be solid to take while we can. So I'm thinking I'll take Cole first here just because contract's not as bad as Ekman-Larsson. But if he's available, I'll take him with our next pick. Let's see. He is available. So yeah, let's do that. Defense is done now. And so since we got the defense done, guys, I'm sorting through by the letter. And the next best guy we can take is Frank Petrano. 20 years old, 82 overall, sniper there. Not too bad for a third line winger. He's going to be playing with Cam Atkinson and then whoever we can get to play center. And obviously, these are going to be 5 pretty tough picks just to find guys who obviously we're allowed to take. Like looking at the letters here, we haven't taken a guy with L yet, which might, you know, be kind of popular. P. Paul Stastny. We have not taken a P. That's actually surprising. 2-way forward, decent defensive stats. Could definitely play PK. Really good face-offs. I don't mind Paul Stastny here at all. And so we just need a backup goalie now and 4th line forwards. And I'll look for a backup goalie here, guys. All these letters we've taken kind of sucks. Just use P. So Copley and Grubauer there. Again, all these letters we use. I think the next guy we could take, honestly, is Louis Domingue. Have not used a player yet with the first name L. So at that point, I don't even think he'll get drafted. We might as well just fill out the 4th line of forwards. Try and avoid the L so we do get our backup goalie. Kind of funny. Yeah, avoid the L there in a couple different ways. Let's see. Can we find a player? Ooh, Nyquist. That's a good one. G, we have not used. Okay, so Gus Nyquist there. Might even be 3rd line, depending how it works out. Phil Kessel starts with a P. He honestly would have been great on this team. He's obviously won back-to-back cups with the Penguins. Oh, now I wish I didn't take Stastny. Oh, well, though. Zach Parise. We have not used a Z yet. And that's kind of perfect. A to Z team now. With, of course, Alex Ovechkin and Zach Parise. And trying to find one more forward here, guys. Gonna be pretty tough, probably, unless, you know, the perfect guy's available. Vinny Hinostroza, I did not see us using a V. 2-way forward, he wouldn't be a bad 4th liner. His physical is kind of low. William Carrier, he actually might be a bit better. 90 body check, yeah, better physical. Defensive awareness a little bit lower, but he's a grinder. In terms of a 4th line player, though, like I said, he might be the way to go here. You know, I just realized, guys, we can't take Carrier because we actually need a 4th line center. So we're going to have to go deep here, I think. All right, guys, so our 4th line center is going to be Henrik Borgstrom here. Of course, I've not used H yet. 25, 78, medium top 6. Maybe he'll get better. Stats there aren't the best, but he is a 4th line center. I think we'll be okay. And then if he's available, our backup goalie here, last pick in the draft, will be Louis Domingue, who, like I said, should be available. Oh, I just realized, skipped over Laurent Brossoit. He also has an L there, which we have not used yet. Okay, so almost took an L there, taking a 3 overall worst goalie. So I think this team ended up being not too bad. And so I just into the rest of the draft here, guys. As you'll see, if you look at the top 20 picks, not a single first name letter is the same. And I actually went through it to see which letters we did not use. It was Q, U, V, W, X, and Y. So reading those letters, I'd say it definitely makes sense. Again, I feel like we drafted a pretty solid team here. Let's see whether or not they can win the Stanley Cup. All right, guys, next I'll show the lines for this team. Like I was saying before, pretty optimistic we can win a Stanley Cup with this squad. First line there, Ovechkin, Crosby, Malkin, so sick. Hopefully they can pop off. They're getting that +5. Even the second line there, Perron, Backstrom, Teravainen, also get a +5. Third line doesn't look too bad. Vetrano, Stastny, Atkinson. And then the 4th line there, Nyquist, Borgstrom, Parise. Considering the challenge, I feel like that's a pretty solid forward group. Defensively here, so we do have one issue. That's the chemistry. Carlson, Letang, top pair. No minus, which is good because obviously they're out there the most. Pesci, Ekman Larson. Second pair, second most ice time, only -1. That bottom pair though, Suter and Cole get a -3, which really sucks. For whatever reason, like there was just no chemistry on this team. You can see if it's not Carlson the tank top pair, it's all minuses. So hopefully that's okay. I did think about firing the head coach. I'll show you guys why I didn't though in a minute. Goaltending wise, of course, Fleury starting there, Brossois backing him up. Power play 1, I mean, so nasty. Crosby's out front, Backstrom feeding the puck to Ovi. We got Carlson and Malkin on the point, +5 chem as well. Second unit doesn't look too bad. Foreman power play 1 is also nasty. They get a +5. Second one's pretty solid too. PK-wise, definitely not as many defensive forwards on this team as I'd like. Basically, just giving the heavy PK minutes to the stars and hoping it works out. Luckily, we're not getting any negative chemistry. You can see that Crosby's there on the first 3-man PK unit. Second one there, third. Again, no minuses, which is honestly probably the biggest thing. Now, as I mentioned, normally I'd fire the head coach, getting such terrible chemistry like that on the defense, but as you can see, we got 88% staff chemistry, which is pretty solid, especially like just starting the game, and we got an NHL head coach to start. There's no other A's available, so I'm just gonna rock this, hope for the best. If you guys are curious about the captaincy, probably no surprise with the entire first line. Sid there wearing the C. He's got more cups than Ovi. But Ovi is rated A along with Malkin. And now next year, guys, I'll show you the ratings for this team before I start the sim. I can see we're currently 4-2 in the preseason. Crosby there just under point per game. Hopefully, he can, turn up a bit more and average that point per game he's done his entire career. So we've got 94 offense, 92 defense, 85 goaltending. Kind of funny to see Johnny Gaudreau there on the Flyers. Of course, the team he wanted to sign with, but they didn't have the money, couldn't make the money for him. I also see they got a couple solid defensemen there in Spurgeon and Tanev, so I'm definitely going to keep an eye on Philly here. But like I was saying, guys, next year we get started with the sim and see what happens. All right, guys, I want to quickly give you an update here at the trade deadline. We have a record of 30-19-3, third place in the division. Unfortunately, though, we've lost the last 8 straight games. I can't believe this. Luckily, 4 of the games we did lose in overtime or a shootout, so we got 4 points out of it. But hopefully we can put an end to this losing streak. Otherwise, this, I thought, pretty stacked team isn't even going to make the playoffs. There we go. Beat the Seattle Kraken. At the trade deadline, obviously, we'll be a buyer, but I'm just going to skip by it because we're keeping our team intact. All right, guys, we're at the end of the season now with a record of 38-28-16. We did make the playoffs there with 92 points. I will say, though, this team did not play as good as I expected. I mean, we didn't even get 40 wins. Obviously, tons of overtime losses, though. After that other losing streak I showed you guys, we actually had another 6-game losing streak here at the end of March. Like, I don't really understand it. Luckily, finishing where we did was kind of a blessing in disguise. So, obviously, we got a wild card spot there. And we actually have the higher of the 2 spots because the Sabres at 88 points. And because of that, we played the Red Wings, who finished with 98, first there in the Atlantic, who was actually a worse team than the Penguins, 107, who we would have played if we beat out the Islanders there, who finished one ahead of us. So, thanks to the kind of dumb NHL playoff format, doing worse actually gave us a better playoff matchup, at least in round 1. So, first here, guys, we'll take a look and see how everyone did. Ovechkin, 105 points, 57 goals there, 82 games. How does this team not put up more points? I gotta see how Sid and Malkin did playing with him. Malkin at 100, Sid at 96. Sid actually put up less, but I mean, still over a point per game. That first line absolutely went off. Teravainen, 69, nice. Surprisingly, though, -5. Carlson as well, our number 1 D-man, -6. Backstrom there at 54. Let's see, how many power play points do you have? 13. I'm honestly kind of surprised by that. He was on power play 1, and I made him the distributor to just give Ovi the puck. I see Ovi there at 20 power play goals. Perron also had 50, so 7 guys, 50 plus. Atkinson, 40, same as Stastny. Not too bad. Okay, so this is why our team wasn't the greatest. After, like, that top line, everyone on the team was a dash player. So, literally, these 3 guys carried the team. Goaltending-wise, okay, so 905 for Fleury's not bad. 312 goals against. I did have it on medium scoring and then high shot frequency. So next year, guys, we'll check the entire league. Matthews, are you kidding me? 106. He beat out Ovi there for the Art Ross Trophy by 1 point. Marner actually tied with Matthews, and they're playing on different teams, so that's pretty sick to see. And Matthews at 57 as well, tied with Ovi, which means they're both going to get the Maurice Richard. Unfortunately, though, the game likes to pick like the player that's not on your team to actually show on the award screen for whatever reason. Jason Robertson 1 away from a 3-way tie there for the Maurice Richard, which has been pretty cool. Defensive scoring, Cam McCarr on Seattle, 76 points. Was a dash 11, though. Kind of surprising. Goaltending stats there, Freddie Anderson, 42 wins. Best save percentage goes to Sorokin, though, on the Hurricanes. But the best goals against for goal, it was actually Georgiev there on the Philadelphia Flyers. And then rookie skaters here, let's see. John Paterka on the Red Wings, put up 64 points. Of course, that's the team we're about to play. So, have to look at those lines, obviously, because fantasy draft, I have no idea what their team's looking like. All right, so these new Red Wings, you got Verhaeghe, Barkov, Raymond on the first line. Raymond stays, and they get a couple Florida Panthers. Paterka there, Hurdle, and Radish, okay. Okposo, Hill, Schwartz, Eller, Waugh, and Anderson Dolan. So, our forward group's definitely better. They don't really have too much depth there. Defensively, though, Quinn Hughes, we should have had over Zadina. D'Angelo, Alexiak, Byram, Kulak, Stetcher. That's not a bad decor at all. And they got Binnington and Gustafson as the 2 goalies. Both 84s, they're not too bad. Obviously, you want to ride that hot hand. Real life right now, definitely that's Gustafson. So I'll see what happens here, guys. Going to sim through this thing. Hope for the best. Usually in real life, not only did the Blue Jackets never beat the Red Wings in a playoff series, I don't even think they beat us in one playoff game. We matched up with them a couple times. So we'll see if we can kind of, rewrite history here. In Detroit, OT loss, but follow that with a win. Loss, win. Are you kidding me? All that. Come back from down 3 games to 1, only to lose an OT of Game 7 to the Red Wings. That is heartbreaking. So yeah, even in this game, Detroit has Columbus number. Crosby had 12 and 7, averaging almost 2 points a game. Come on, that's tough. And so just finishing through the playoffs, guys. As you can see there, the New York Islanders won the Stanley Cup. Before I actually show you guys the awards, I want to take a look at that Islanders team. Why were they better than us? I thought we built a pretty solid squad. So they had Aaron Ekblad on D, who actually thought about taking over Carlson. Patty Kane, we thought about too. Nichushkin's good 2-way guy. Duchesne, Bertuzzi, Couture. Second best defenseman there is Dunn behind Ekblad. They got Giordano as well. Schen's also pretty solid 2-way. Zadorov, Arvidsson, Dumoulin there. Paul, Heinen, Stahl's a good 2-way guy. I mean, a lot of these guys we're looking at. JVR, Jordan Stahl, of course. We just couldn't take them due to the letter. Shesterkin and net. That is probably a big part of it as well. Let's take a look here. I want to see his playoff stats. 9.23 and a 2.62. Honestly, not world-breaking, but pretty solid. I'm sure Rangers fans hate seeing Shesterkin there on the New York Islanders, but a solid team, definitely won it. And like I was saying, guys, next year just going to quickly look at the awards. So Islanders there won the Stanley Cup. Flyers look at the President's Trophy. So Johnny Gaudreau fit pretty well on that team. And the Islanders actually beat the Dallas Stars there in the Stanley Cup final. Individual here, of course, Matthews with the Art Ross Trophy. He was actually tied in points with Marner, so he must get the tiebreaker due to goals. Tage Thompson, though, got the Hart. Darnell Nurse, James Norris. Wow, huge year for him. Marner, though, got the Lady Bing. Peterka got the Calder. Nichushkin, Conn Smythe, he went off. Georgiev there did get the Vezina with the Flyers. Also got the William Jennings. Siegenthaler, Bill Masterton. Edmonton coach Jack Adams. Crosby got the Selke. That's kind of cool. We get, one award at least. Tage Thompson, Ted Lindsay. And then Austin Matthews and Alex Ovechkin tied for the Maurice Richard. But as I already told you guys, the game, it just hates you. Like, it doesn't even show your guy when you get the Maurice Richard. Only gives you the name. It happens every single time. But that's going to do it, guys, for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, leave that thumbs up. If you guys have not subscribed yet, hit the sub button down below. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.